$800 per month. That is exactly what 33% of Americans are willing to give up just to collect Social Security. Now, in today's video, I want to explain why this $800 issue is going to be a crisis, a Social Security crisis, not just for those that are currently accepting and collecting Social Security, but for those that are potentially going to get Social Security in the future as well. So make sure you stick around for this entire video, and I want to explain why this is a crisis. Now, all I ask is if you can spend just 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button, and let's continue. Now, we have a major Social Security crisis on our hands, and most people don't realize what's about to happen. Oh, okay, I lied. We don't just have one crisis, we have multiple different crises on our hands. Now, I want to explain one in particular, and again, it comes down to that roughly $800 per month that 33% of Americans are willing to give up. Now, I will talk about some of the other crises in additional videos. Those will be, we will address the lower cost of living adjustment for 2023 that's coming out due to inflation coming down temporarily. This is an issue. We will also talk about D-Day. Now, this is what many people know as depletion day. This is going to come in right now, 2035. That is when we will see Social Security become insolvent. I will also fill you in on what Congress is attempting to pass to help seniors try to save more money. It's not about giving them more money. It's about, hey, let's help seniors save more money. So I will address that in a future video. And also, I'll dive into the truth regarding the potential Social Security raise outside of the cost of living adjustment. I know a lot of people are questioning, are we ever going to get that promise that President Biden gave us of $200 per month? Well, I want to address that, but it will not be in this video. All that will come in additional videos. And if you have any other questions regarding Social Security or just any ways for seniors to make a little bit extra money, please comment down in the comment section below and let me know. Because again, I promise I will do my research and I will fill you in on what is currently happening. Now, today, I want to talk about a major Social Security crisis. And that is the news that 33% of all new Social Security recipients are actually willing to give up almost 50% of their monthly benefits in order to take Social Security benefits early. You're probably thinking, well, why in the world would somebody do that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Number one, Americans just don't trust Congress, do not trust our government to give them the money that they've been paying into for pretty much the bulk of their lives. That's number one. Number two, what if Social Security becomes insolvent in the future? They want to get as much money now as they possibly can. And number three, some don't have any other option, and I will address that at the end of this video. But here's what you need to know. And again, this is what's somewhat troubling. When you reach the age of 62, you can actually start collecting Social Security benefits. However, between the age of 62 and 67, your benefits are going to be reduced by about 30%. Now, if you were to wait until age 70 to start collecting your Social Security benefits, that means that between the years of, or between 62 and 70, you would actually be giving up roughly 50% of your benefits. So in today's dollars, when the average Social Security recipient receives about $1,658, you'd be giving up roughly $800 and change. That's on average. Now, here's the problem with this. As more eligible recipients begin collecting benefits, this will likely speed up the time in which Social Security becomes insolvent. That's a problem, not just for the new Social Security recipients, but for the existing beneficiaries as well. Because guess what? If Social Security goes from you get 100% benefits down to, let's say, 75 to 80%, everybody's going to be screwed. And this is why some members of Congress are adamant about Social Security reform. But again, there's a problem. Then those certain members of Congress understand that with the current president, President Biden, nothing can be done because he promised that nobody making less than $400,000 per year would see a penny more in taxes. Well, what I can tell you is if we only tax those that are making over $400,000 per year, it leaves out the bulk of the United States. That is where the majority of the money for Social Security is coming in at. So again, there's a problem. Now, I read a recent story, read a recent report that many Democrats are secretly hoping that President Biden decides to not seek a second term as president. And I know all Republicans are like, yay, hallelujah, good. But here's the thing. Democrats, and the reason for this is Democrats are hoping if he doesn't decide to seek a second term, that would be the best thing for them. Otherwise, there's a very good chance that Democrats are going to find somebody else to run against him. They do not want President Biden to be the one that runs pretty much the United States, or, well, technically runs, right? Looks at as the head of the United States. They don't want him to do this for another 4 years. And they say this because if somebody else is in office, then they can make the moves that they want for Social Security and other programs, because they would not have to worry about the promises that President Biden has made. They wouldn't have to worry about the $200 additional monthly benefit to Social Security, because the new president wouldn't have promised that. They don't have to worry about saying that nobody making less than $400,000 per year will see a penny more in taxes, because again, the new president is not going to say that. Or, not new president. The potential new president, the candidate, right? He or she is not going to say that. I guarantee it. Now, here's why this is so troubling. And what is so troubling about potentially losing 50% of your monthly benefits is that many soon-to-be retirees are highly considering walking away from the workforce. They're just tired of it. They want to retire. They want to start collecting Social Security benefits and just live the rest of their lives in peace. The only problem is that inflation is still taking the majority of their income, right? When eggs alone went up, 2.4% in a month, right? Food alone is pushing 10% month over month. It's getting scary. But the problem is that getting less income by collecting Social Security benefits early is also not an option at this time either. They need the full benefits. But here's the reason why this is such a huge deal. Remember I said there's 3 reasons why people are trying to collect Social Security benefits early. Number 3 is they may not have another option. And here's the reason why I say this. Many employers are not willing to give older Americans a job. So the options on the table for the older Americans, they're limited. And now, I talked to a few different employers just recently, actually a handful of employers, and each one said the same thing, that they want to train somebody that's going to be around for the next 5 to 10 years. So training somebody that's already eligible or right at the doorstep to becoming eligible for Social Security isn't really an option for them. They don't want to train somebody, they work for a couple years and then they got to go back and retrain somebody else. That's not what they want. Especially in a time when we are seeing changes and a lot of employees are going to have to adapt to a new way of running a business, to a new way of thinking. And so what we're hearing and what I've been hearing from multiple employers, they're not willing to put in that time and effort to train those people. And again, some of these employees employers are for more tech companies, some are for construction. But that's the thing, it's a huge mix. But the message is still the same, that they're just not willing yet to go and train those people, train people that are almost eligible for Social Security or are currently, because there's other options. They'll get somebody younger. They won't have to pay them as much. They won't be worried about them taking days off to spend time with their family, to raise kids, take them to school if they're sick, and stay home, and all these other things, all these other obligations that as a family person, as a family man, you would have. So that's kind of the issue, is there's multiple crises on the table. But again, I just wanted to explain what's currently happening, how some Americans are willing to give up about $800 every single month just to collect benefits a little bit early. So again, If you have any questions on any of that stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.